opening the gradebook and entering final grades in the elementary report card. In order to open the gradebook, on the left-hand list of pages, click on Gradebook and an arrow will appear to the right. Click on that. This will start the opening of the Java program necessary to run the web gradebook. Click OK. It will upload the program and then run the program and ask you to allow it. Click that and the gradebook will open. It will be slightly different in Windows. This is a Mac, but basically it's the same thing. Just say OK to everything it asks. And then once you're in the gradebook, if you look in the upper left-hand corner, you'll see the school year at the very top, and then a list of the curriculum content areas. List of students here in the center, and if you can't see their complete names, you can kind of go on the line between this and the final grade column, and when you see that icon, you can click and drag in order to change the width of the student name column so you can see the complete student names. In the final grade column, by default, you'll see that scores or percentages and so forth will be displayed, but those really don't mean anything in a standards-based gradebook the way it's set up for the elementary report card. So in order to turn this off, you can go to Preferences, which in the Mac is under the PowerTeacher gradebook, and in Windows it should be under File. But in Preferences, you're going to have three boxes that by default are turned on that display the letter grade percent and points earned. And if you just go into Preferences and turn these three off and click OK, then this will remain blank. In order to put in the final grades and see the standards, you'll notice at the top here we're on the score sheet. We're in trimester 1, and in the second trimester or the second report card, you can click on trimester 2 and then do that. And if you want to go back and see what you put in for the first trimester, you can do that. Going to the right, you have assignments, final grades, and student view. What we're focused on is final grades, and when you click on that, you'll notice that the standards are here for the different categories. So if I click on math, then the math standards appear. If I click on reading, then the reading standards appear. If I go back to math, you'll notice these two extra columns here, homework and quizzes. This is because in this version of the gradebook, not version of the gradebook, but in this sample of the gradebook, if we go back to assignments, this gradebook is being used to track assignments given to the students and giving those students scores. This can be done, but it's not something that we're covering in this. And if you want to learn more about this, talk to your building rep for the gradebook. Back to final grades. So ignoring these two columns, we're just focused on the standards columns. And the way that you enter a final grade is that you simply click on a box next to the student name and input the number 1 to 4. Strategies for this is that if a majority of your scores are one value, let's say 3s, then the best method is to just simply put in the scores that are not 3s first. So for example, for this student, if I had a 2, this student I had a 1, this student I had a 4, and the student here at the bottom I had a 4. And the rest of them are 3s. Now all I have to do is right click on one of these boxes, say fill scores. We want to enter the grade where there are no grades currently rather than replace all of them, which would replace the scores that we just put in. And I come down here and say I want all of these to be filled in with 3s. I click OK, and the rest of the column is filled in with 3s. This saves a tremendous amount of time if you first put in the scores that are not the same as the majority of the scores that you're going to put in. And in most cases, that's going to be 3s. So you just go through, fill in your columns, go to the next content area. It'll ask you to save. Say yes, and you repeat the same thing, just entering your scores. Quick note, Student View includes data and information that doesn't make any sense in the standards-based gradebook, so it doesn't provide you anything that's going to be of any value. So focus just in the area of final grades, enter your final grades, and you are basically done.